So out of the three different types of unemployment, the first one is frictional unemployment. This means that a person is in temporary unemployment or they are in between jobs. So an example of this could be if a pizza worker decided to quit their job and maybe go to one where they get paid more, such as a coffee shop. They would be in between jobs, but since they're still actively looking for one, it would still count. Next would be structural unemployment or changes in the labor force, which makes some skills obsolete. So, an example of this could be the delivery of newspapers, but with the introduction of technology, people see the news through articles or on TV. So, this skill of delivering isn't needed anymore, which is why people lose their jobs. Next is cyclical unemployment. So, this is unemployment caused by a recession. So, the example I have is essentially if the demand for ice cream goes down during the winter, then the demand for ice cream workers is also going to go down. So in order to calculate the unemployment rate, you just have to take the number of people unemployed over the number of people in the labor force and then multiply that by 100. The natural rate of unemployment is when you add the frictional unemployment plus the structural unemployment. And the goal is never to get it to zero because there's always going to be some sort of unemployment where people are in between jobs or there is just constant technology taking jobs. There is no way to fully cut that off. So the goal is to always limit cyclical unemployment or unemployment caused by recession. So for country A, the unemployment rate is 10%, and the labor force participation rate is 60%. For country B, the unemployment rate is 5%, while the labor force participation rate is 75%. Then for country C, the unemployment rate is 20% and the labor force participation rate is 25%. And then out of the three countries, the one that would be experiencing frictional and structural unemployment would most likely be country A, since all of the other countries, if we look at country B, a 5% unemployment rate would indicate that there's probably a large amount of frictional unemployment, which would be a lot of people in between jobs because you also have a really high unemployment rate or labor force participation rate, which means that people are constantly looking. Or with country C, you have a 20% unemployment rate but a 25% labor force participation rate, which likely indicates that there's a lot of skills that aren't obsolete if people aren't actively looking for jobs. So the one that would most likely contain the two would probably be country A.